Hey everyone. Sorry, I hope that the quality is like okay. It's early, there are wildfires where I live, so there's no light. And I don't have any kind of fancy setup because I don't do recordings and things like that here at my house. So yay. So I wanted to kind of give a little bit of an update of like what's going on with my arm. You can't really fucking see it, but it's pretty sick. I would never be happy if somebody showed a tattoo I did this way. Um, so maybe I'll eventually give you like some really good pictures and videos. So, okay, a couple things here just to like kind of start off. Number one, um, something that I always forget that's like super important is like tattooers should get tattooed. And the reason why here is it is a very humbling experience. And it is important to remember like what people are going through. Um, the guy who did my tattoo, Harlan, he is extremely amazing space holder, was very in tune with me. I did have a little bit of a moment in the beginning where I actually thought that I was going to pass out. So yeah. Um as I was saying, so he was an amazing space holder. I started to kind of like feel a little fucking weird and stop it. My dog is being a nightmare. So anyway, I started to feel really fucking weird and I was like, hey, like this is important. If you ever start to get like real tingly or you start to feel kind of like disoriented, like say something to your artist. It's going to prevent you from passing out always. So I said something to him. He puts the fan on me. I can't believe that I have to explain this is actually happening to me. It's so embarrassing. But it's like also not like it's a normal thing that happens, especially if you're like an anxious, nervous person. Um, you can start to feel super disoriented. I also have ADHD and I did not take my medicine for it because I was afraid that it was going to make me focus in on the pain, which was really freaking stupid. I also think that that contributed to me having higher anxiety that day. Take your medicines as you're supposed to. Don't take them as you want to. So anyway, yeah, so there was a lot of things. I had a really long drive. I was really in my head about it. Um, that like I explained to you, there's a lot of energy behind this whole sleeve already. Um, so at any rate, I start to feel terrible. Just like real tingly and like real like all my energy is like on the front of my head. And so he stops and we chill for a second. And I'm just like, oh my God. Also, the thing is, we were like right down in this area because typically when you're getting a sleeve, we work our way up. When it's like all mapped out. And a couple of days before, like I think like 1 or 2 days before I actually got the tattoo, I was taking my dog over to my sister-in-law's house with my fiance. And Willow, like my dog, she like ran a million miles per hour away from me and I was holding her leash and it smacked up against like a fence post like and just like jerked my finger back, hit this at like 40 miles an hour. It was like crazy. I was just like shooketh. I have a tattoo right here. There was like no bruise to speak of. I don't know if bruises show through pigment. I've never seen it. But yeah, so I had a really, really deep bruise. I don't think I broke anything, but like I could have. I don't feel anything in my hand, so I'm assuming that I didn't break anything. But pretty much like when he was like tattooing in that area, I kept on getting like the tingles and shit. So I think that there was probably a little bit of like underlying trauma from that as well. Um, but yeah, so I sat for 6 hours, which is in fucking insane, dude. Like first of all, the time is crazy for me. I usually don't do more than 3 hours. But like the fact that this dude fucking like outlined my whole arm and then fucking shaded it too, like put me to shame, motherfucker. Like that's amazing. Like what a fucking G, dude. Pretty much got the whole thing done. So yeah, we actually went with like these waves, which is I'm so rude for even trying to show it this way again. I apologize. I may put like a picture up here if I can figure out how to do it, but like I said, this is unedited, unscripted. This is your girl learning how to do all the things. So I'll put a picture up there, but yeah, so we're doing waves on the outside and then he wants to do like a really big flower. I don't remember it was like a peony or a chrysanthemum, but it was some kind of mum looking flower. And it's gonna be fantastic. He is so skilled. I really he was like, ask me as many questions as you want. I was like, bro, I don't think I'm gonna be able to ask you shit. Like I have the hardest time talking and like just a reminder, like just real life. If you can't talk because you're getting tattooed, like that is not abnormal. Um, I have a really hard time like when I'm in pain, like, and it's again, it's not like the tattoo is like super, super painful. It really isn't. It does hurt sometimes, but it really is just like, um, it's not pain, it's like enduring kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. If you haven't been tattooed and you're just here and you're like, but yeah, so yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. My dog's like behind me on the floor. You can't hear her because I have this awesome microphone, but she's being a nut. So yeah, that was wild. Oh yeah, like kind of like making words while you're getting tattooed. So it's hard. And don't feel like you have to talk to your artists when you are getting tattooed also. Like most of them are going to be like really fucking cool. And if you just kind of like start kind of like staying to yourself, we are usually pretty good at like picking up on the hints. You know what I mean? But this was a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in 11 fucking years. Oh my God. It's like wild because like I really don't feel old. And he was saying the same thing. Like, we don't feel old, but it's crazy that like I worked with him in like 2014. You know what I mean? That was like a long ass time ago. And we haven't seen each other in person since then. So wild, wild, wild. So yeah, it went really good. He hooked me up really hard, which is really great. Um, and yeah, so basically what I'm doing is his prescription for tattooing. It's a little bit different than what I would tell my clients to do, but I completely understand where he's coming from. So like we did saran wrap the first day. So it was like more like night. Like I got home at like 7:30. So then I had saran wrap on it and I waited until the very last minute before I was going to bed to take a shower in cool water, like with a little tiny hint of warm, but mostly cool water. And I just rinsed it off with an antibacterial soap um cleanser. And let it air dry real good. But then I basically made a paper towel cuff and then I rewrapped my whole arm in saran wrap and I took painter's tape and I just like closed it off and taped up here so it would stay up. Um, I think I was gonna wear a long sleeve shirt, but it was like really hot, so I didn't do that. And so then the next day, oh, that was the other thing. We forgot to give me Derm Shield, which is the aftercare derm shield that we were using. Because it's amazing. It makes you bypass like any and all scabbing, which is fabulous. But anyway, so I forgot to grab that from him on the way out. We were like literally like I was all like tattoo fucking stoned and he's like, doing a billion things. Um to like get it together for me, whatever. And we just missed it. It was like no big deal. So anyway, I got on fucking Amazon, looked up recovery derm shield, and was able to next day it. So I got the derm shield around 2 o'clock, which is crazy. Like, because what he was like doing was like, or telling me to do was take off the saran wrap once, change it, and then I think in the morning time, I so there was 2 saran wraps, the one that he left me with, and then the one after my shower that I went to bed with. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then what I was supposed to do was like take off the saran wrap, wash it real good, let it dry completely. That's usually like 30 minutes to an hour. And then put on the derm shield. Well, the derm shield, like I said, it didn't come until mega late. So I had to like leave that fucking saran wrap on, which he probably would have been like, gross, don't do that. But I did not give a fuck. I just did it because I knew that it was better for it to just stay in that safe little moist spot and then do a really, really good cleaning. Oh, you know what? Actually, I lied. I knew that the derm shield was going to get there by a certain time, and I could see that it was like starting to be like showing the stops on Amazon. So I did take it off like an hour before, but then, um, so I left it on until like around 11 or 12 or something like that. And then I took off the Tegader or the saran wrap and I washed it and I was like, thank the Lords. When I got the derm shield, I gave it one more cool wash to because like you get like a little bit of drying and like some fluid that comes out that you don't even see happening. So I washed it one more time and then I put on the derm shield finally. That was super fun because my dog ate something that she wasn't supposed to in the middle of me putting on my derm shield, which took forever putting it on myself. So I had to like hydrogen peroxide her face to make her throw up, and then she was fine. And there was nothing in her stomach that wasn't supposed to be. I was just like, bro, like really, like right now. So anyway, yeah, that was hyper ridiculous. And then yeah, so then I just had the derm shield on, which is really nice because I feel like it gives you like a layer of protection. It keeps anything that's like not supposed to be in your tattoo from getting in your tattoo. Um, and it just feels like a little bit safer. Um, so yeah. And then we have one more session up here, and there's a few little spots like around. But then I think that we're gonna start the inside, which like I had no idea how this was going, like at all. Like I didn't know, like, was he planning on just like extending one image around? Like, what was the deal? But like as far as like stencil placement, which also I have to give him a shout the fuck out on this shit. He literally nailed the placement with like one stencil. And I'm telling you, like, the stencil was like this fucking big. Like, it was huge. And I was like, you're doing that on your own. Like, you don't have somebody like assisting you right now. And he did it. And I was like, you are a professional, sir. Because I probably would have done that like in 2 or 3 stencils and just like been lining it up because I'm not I just I would have been afraid to fuck up the stencil real bad. That is really, really lucky that he was able to get that on there, the first shot and everything. So yeah, he did it in one stencil and I was impressed. I honestly just thought that I was getting an outline, like for sure. He was real fast. I think that it only took like an hour, not even. Maybe an hour and like 10 minutes to like outline my whole arm. And then he's just got to town on filling it in. Super, super happy with that and how it looks. So, yeah. Um, yeah, so it was interesting. Like I said, it was a little hard to talk, and sometimes you feel like the flow of consciousness is happening from you is a little weird. Like I definitely felt like I was like, man, first of all, I was really embarrassed because I kept on like interrupting him the whole time that he was talking, which was partly by ADHD and partly just because like when you get tattooed and all of those chemicals are released into your body from like your brain to like protect you because you're doing something that's like harmful in your brain. It's like you're flooded with all of these endorphins, and I swear to God, it just like relaxes the filter and it doesn't make you or allow for you to like kind of like flow cohesively. So I felt like I was just having a very hard time being a good conversation holder. Um, and I feel like a couple times too, it was like, again, I hadn't taken my ADHD medicine like, I think it was like 2 days in a row. And I just felt like that really made me weird. And interruptive, and I didn't get to have all the conversations that I wanted to. But there's always next time. The other thing that I learned too, that I'm going to be doing next time is that you can actually like get some of those like electrolyte packets like LMNT or like liquid IV. Throw that into your drink while you're getting tattooed. So I've actually been doing that. That's something that I'm kind of segueing into is like I kind of have a little bit of like what you call like the tattoo flu. Definitely don't have it as bad as some people that I've tattooed, how they've explained it to me. And I've also had friends that have had it really bad. But basically, like the tattoo flu is essentially when your body is this is essentially a huge wound, right? And like your body puts all of its energy into healing that, and you can get like really weak, really fatigued. You can actually have like flu-like symptoms, and you just don't feel well. So that's what I'm talking about when I say like the tattoo flu. So typically you will experience that like within the first 24 to 48 hours. And it's usually like as soon as you're done and it continually gets like a little bit worse. This does not happen to all people. So don't think that because you're getting tattooed that this is going to happen to you. This happens when your body endures very large plot projects. And maybe you're already a little bit depleted already. So that started to happen to me, but what I was saying to be preemptive and help yourself is boost yourself by eating really healthy things, like lots of green things, lots of things that are vitamin like nutrients. But yes. And things that are very hydrating. Have a good full meal. Make sure that you have a good full meal afterwards too. Um but mostly it's gonna be like, the vitamins and, the waters and electrolytes. So, more or less, I went ahead and I ordered myself some of that LMNT, electrolyte powder to add to my water. I got, like, some kinda sample pack on Amazon. I feel like it was, like, 9 bucks. Maybe it was more, but it was, like, a couple of them. Those things are really expensive. You could probably just put, like, pink salt or, some kind of, like, salt that's, like, good a good quality salt into your water, and that'll do the trick, but mine yesterday was, like, a peppery mango. It was, like, burning my throat. I was like, "Damn, I could see this being, like, a good mocktail, though," you know? So anyway, at any rate, I had one of those yesterday, but I was just feeling, like, really, really heavy, really, really sluggish. Um, I definitely didn't like want to get off of the couch. I watched a whole bunch of like Vampire Diaries. Didn't do like a whole lot of social media. I'm like really trying to like take a step back from that right now. But anyway, so yeah, it's important to do that shit to kind of like mend your body and feel better. Um, Try to stay away from like a lot of junk food and processed things also like right after. I really didn't do that yesterday. My man's he was talking about pizza. He was helping his sister yesterday with like a party for like our nieces. It was like an end of school year party anyway, like, he said there were, like, pizzas and stuff there. I was like, "Bring me home pizza and wings, that's all I want." Whereas I should have been having, like, lots of, vegetables and, like, lots of good, like, hearty, like, proteins, you know? We can't always be perfect, though. So I did not stick to my game plan, but you know what? Pizza with sausage and bacon on it was fantastic. And those wings were good too. And ice cream. We had ice cream too. But yeah, so tattoo flu, that's not a joke. Expect yourself to feel a little bit disoriented or woozy in the 24 to 48 hours following getting tattooed. And just be gentle. Like, don't force yourself to do shit. Oh, and that's the other thing. Like, I'm getting tattooed in the summertime. Um, so a lot of times too, if you're like, yo, I'm just gonna go outside, it's fine, and it's like 80 degrees out, you are gonna weep more and you're gonna feel tired more. It's just gonna fuck you up. Like, just don't do it. Like, Chris was like, oh my God, like come over to Sis's house. There's like a pool party and shit, which is the opposite of what you should be doing after you get tattooed. And I was like, I cannot. Absolutely not. I'm so sorry. I wish I could be there because hanging out with them sounds fun, but can't do that. It was like any like extended amount of time outside was actually killing me. So, yeah. And also just like a little update like how I'm feeling about seeing things being covered and stuff. Um I'm actually really good. Like I was saying, having my friend do this and him being so sweet and just like being an amazing space holder really helped a lot. We didn't even really talk about like stuff in the past like too much, like, which was cool, but it was like he was holding the space for me and he was like allowing for me to like alchemize it. And like he got it. So that was really helpful in the process, and I feel like I'm good. I like that I can still sort of like see little pieces of things. um it's kind of cool, but I'm really glad to like see this part going, and I'll be really happy to see this going too because like I said, I'm not the biggest fan. Blood waves are like pretty gone. My It's What Kills Me is still showing a bit, but that'll probably go on next session. There we go again. Willow, you're a jerk. Get down. Hey, Willie, get down. Thank you. Um, you're a hyena. You are. You're a freaking hyena. Hi. Doggy needs pets. Doggy needs pets. Hi, baby. All right. Well, anyway, so I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I talked about the healing process thus far. You're not going to have any kind of like scabbing or anything like that in the first 24. Well, I guess I'm in 48 now. I will probably change out the dressing one more time tonight just because it does feel disgusting when there's like all that fluid seeping. Um Typically when I am telling people what to do, I'm like, "Hey, like check in with it after 72 hours." But again, this whole process is really like allowing me to be the receiver of a tattoo clearly. And then also like kind of look at and reshape where I need to with all kinds of things. The process, the aftercare, definitely the aftercare as far as like even just like this kind of aftercare to like self and body aftercare. Like what are some of the things that I did to like make myself feel better when I got the tattoo flu? Like that shit might even go onto my website after this because it's important, like, when you're feeling like that, like, you're like, "Oh my god, like, is this normal?" And I'm like, "Bitch, like, you're a tattooer, you know what to do." It's really funny how, like, as the tattoo client, I've been a tattooer for, like, almost 20 years, and I'm like, What am I supposed to do?" So, it's kinda hilarious. But, yeah, so All of that has given me a lot to think about on how I'm gonna approach things with my clients and, like, give even more help to them, through the process. Um, I might even, like, make some videos about it, you know? I don't know, maybe. So yeah, that stuff was really important for what I talked about today. Yeah, feeling good about covering everything up. Um, yeah, pre-care is definitely being hydrated and well, and I think that that's it. If there's anything else that I didn't talk about that you were like hoping to hear more about it, please feel free to like leave a comment here. I'm happy to answer any questions or make another video based off of any questions or thoughts you had. And somebody left me a comment on my last video about like kind of like answering questions like in the series on this podcast. So like please feel free to say any and all things that you want me to talk about. I'm here for it. Like I want to keep on doing this. So yeah, let me know what you want to hear about, and I am super happy to answer any and all questions. All right, but until next time, have a fantastic weekend. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. All right, bye.